Être un bon traiteur, c'est être intransigeant sur la qualité. On ne fait du bon qu'avec le meilleur. C'est être impitoyable sur les recettes. Quand c'est bon, il n'y a rien à ajouter, rien à enlever. C'est être irréprochable sur le goût. Il faut prendre du plaisir pour en donner. Voilà, pour être un bon traiteur, il faut être intraitable.
Parfaitement intraitable.
First race of the weekend for Trofeu GT Sprint getting underway shortly. 9-car field, a mixture of GT3 Porsche Cup machinery, Lamborghini Super Trofeos, a Ferrari 296 and GT4 cars ready to battle for the next 25 minutes around the Autodromo Internacional de Algarve. Pace lap already underway. Let's give you the grid then. It is Wilfried Casalbon in the Schumacher GP. Lamborghini Super Trofeo leading the Seb Lejeune Porsche Cup car of Lucas Talman. I believe it's his first weekend in Porsche Cup machinery. Then comes the second of the Schumacher GP Super Trofeos, Pierre Macchi in the number 18 car, and then Olivier Morahan in the Kennel Racing Team Chevrolet Corvette GT3 car. Eric Mouet starts fifth for the CMR Super Trofeo. The Ferrari 296 Challenge of Patrick Michelier, also from CMR. And then the UCS4 battle at the back of the grid is Jose Catula in the number 58 drive-in Porsche Cayman. With Pierre Aru between himself and the second of the drive-in Porsche Caymans, Andre Safiritos, Pierre Aru for the Herrera Racing Audi. Safiritos and Aru currently tied on points at the head of the UCS4 field. None of our other championship leaders here this weekend, unfortunately. So, pace car circling the field, leading them round, and now into the 2x2 formation for a rolling start for 25 minutes of racing around this 4.653 kilometer circuit. Pace car will peel off to driver's right. And the Schumacher GP Super Trofeo will lead us into the first corner. New entries in the Ultimate Cup Championship from the Schumacher squad. Great to have them with us. Seb Lejeune Racing becoming a stalwart of Ultimate Cup competition, also starting on the front row of the grid. We wait for the red lights to be extinguished to signal the start. Bit of breaking of formation there, but we're now underway. Green flag is waved, and you see immediately the Chevy Corvette of Olivier Morahan making the jump on the Super Trofeo, but we'll have to go the long way around, and a right around the outside Lucas Talman to take the lead of the race into the first corner. So despite the additional grunt from the V10 powered Lamborghini, it is the Porsche Cup car that manages to get the whole shot, so to speak, into the first corner. I imagine down here the V10 will open up the taps, and this short back straight will become an opportunity for Albon to retake the lead into the Toro Vip hairpin. In fact, it does present such an opportunity, so the lead changing hands once again, and Tolman having to sort of settle back into second position. Round turns 7 and 8 for the first time. We rise up over the crest of the hill, back down it again, around the kink at the Craig Jones, back up the hill again to the, I believe it's the highest point on the circuit, on the anchors through 10 and 11, and then back down the hill again. This is why they call it the roller coaster circuit. Great start from Patrick Michelier there. I believe he's jumped the CMR Lamborghini of Eric Mouet. At the end of the first lap, it's Tolman and Albon. And Tolman in hot pursuit of the Lamborghini. See how much more speed he was able to carry around the Galp corner, and they are in fact side by side coming down the start and finish straight. And I'm amazed that the Lamborghini isn't just pulling away, but here on the inside, and Tolman retakes the lead. So he went around the outside on the first lap. He's got the inside on this lap. And this is a very good first outing in Porsche machinery for Lucas Tolman. Here we go again. This is where the lead changed hands again on the first lap, but this time the inside line is covered by the Seb Ligier racing car. Turn 1 incident has been noted. Didn't see anything out of the ordinary out there, but see if we get any more news on that. Order is unchanged in terms of UCS3. I tell a lie. Andre Seferitos has moved ahead of Pierre Aru. So it's a drive-in 1-2 in UCS4 at the moment between the two 991 Caymans. So this is Tolman pulling away now from Wilfried Albon. Two purple sectors on this lap. Around the final corner for the second time in this race. A Fun Cup racer is Tolman. Further down the field, you've got Patrick Michelier and the CMR Lamborghini Super Trofeo. So the two CMR cars actually, I don't understand, but two very different machines. The Ferrari 296 Challenge, which this year's first time we've seen that car out in this championship. I was used to seeing the 488 Evo. First of any of the 296 model GT cars that we've seen, actually, because we certainly haven't seen the GT3 spec of that machine. Patrick Michelier, seeing him out in that car here, and also in the GT2 European Series with Alexis Berthet. Now, in addition to the Turn 1 incident, of which we still have no more information being noted, an incident for Jose Cautela on the formation lap has been noted by the stewards, and so the lead car in UCS4 might be in a bit of trouble later on. There is the 700 horsepower Ferrari 296 Challenge. Probably since the introduction of the 296, probably the fastest of the one make cars. Arguably the Super Trofeo was that before, and it will be another year of that specification of Huracan in terms of Super Trofeo competition, despite the introduction of the new Temerario for GT3 racing. I think it'll be 2027 when a Super Trofeo version of the Temerario is introduced across Europe and America, potentially Asia as well. Car 2, which is Olivier Morahan, has also been noted for a possible false start. And now that was the Chevy Corvette that was sort of breaking the formation a little bit. You're supposed to go through the grid hatchings on the start and finish straight for the start. And it didn't really look like Olivier was following that particular note. There is Pierre Aru, the Wile E. Coyote livery. Oh, hello, this is closed up again between the two CMR machines. Michelier leading Eric Mouet. Eric Mouet, multiple champion across VDV and Ultimate Cup competition, and it's a dive on the inside from the Super Trofeo into 13, and straight back on the inside on the exit comes Michelier. That was a bit of a day late and a dollar short. Closing up for the lead as well between Lucas Tellman and Wilfred Casalbon. Two completely different machines that were not at all designed to race alongside each other, putting on a pretty great display at the moment. Hands of two very different drivers. So the Porsche probably quicker in the corners, but the Lamborghini will own everything in between. Of course, both of these cars designed for one make competition. Porsche in Carrera Cup, Lamborghini in Super Trofeo. And the Porsche generally the least powerful of the one make categories between Lamborghini, Ferrari and Porsche. And maybe the Audi Cup has probably a similar output, but much more focus into the cornering ability of their Cup cars. Like a flame out of the back of the Super Trofeo, and what we have at the front here as well is there's a little bit of track limits there. Also, in addition to Olivier Morahan, Patrick Michelier has also been noted for a false start. And he's now got his teammate on his inside again. And this time it's not quite as easy for Michelier to try and get the up and under. Doesn't dance straight back through, draws alongside. It'll be very difficult to go all the way around the outside of the penultimate corner here. And then we've got a very fast run through the final corner down towards the timing line. And so that is Eric Mouet now up into 5th position overall, passing his teammate in that aboard his Lamborghini, passing the 296 Challenge car. Blast their way down the start and finish straight. And of course, Michelier also under investigation for a false start. And look at that, they're not too far ahead of Jose Cartella, but he's got a formation lap incident under investigation as well. Yeah, let's see how that goes. 15 minutes still to run. What we have here at the front of the field, as I was about to say, two of the best sounding engines in motorsport at the moment. The screaming flat 6 in the Porsche and the howling V10 in the Lamborghini. And as of next year, the Super Trofeo car will be the one to carry it, because of course with the Temerario being introduced next year, and they are switching that out for a twin-turbo V8 like in the S63 hypercar, hopefully slightly more reliable than the S63. 5-second time penalty to Olivier Morahan and to Patrick Michelier for a false start. So 2 time penalties coming in there. As again, it closes up for the lead. The Super Trofeo with more grunt on the straight, but Talman doesn't lose his nerve. Holds the inside line and defends very nicely into the first corner, and indeed the much tighter, more hairpin-esque turn 3. Be another opportunity for him to flex that muscle as well, down into the hairpin at Tora Vip. So one thing I do absolutely love watching about the Super Trofeo machines is like you can watch weight transfer of a racing car in action. It's so loosely sprung. You can watch the nose diving under braking. You can see the body roll as it goes through corners. Although Patrick Michelier has been passed by Eric Mouet, he's not giving up on that 5th position overall. Of course, if he passes him, he'll then have to pull 5 seconds up the road, but nonetheless, a bit of pride on offer here amongst the CMR camp. All over the curbing from Gazalbon. Much more well behaved on the track limits this time. Seems like Talman is having to be much more defensive, but there's still a gap on the inside for Gazalbon to drive through, and so on the inside, oh, he runs out wide and allows Talman to go straight back through. Slight update on Jose Cartella's investigation. The team manager of Car 58 has been asked to report to race control after the race, with the driver as well. So they obviously want Jose's input on what happened on the formation lap. Hopefully we'll get some idea of what happened there, but this is the replay of what happened at turn 1 on that lap. On the inside, Gazalbon trying to go for the lead. Runs out wide. You see a puff of smoke in there, but straight back through. And actually, Gazalbon ends up much further behind the Porsche than when he came out of the final corner. Seconds out, round, what are we on now? 4, 5 between these two? Again, you see a much wider entry from Gazalbon. Really utilises the curbing on the entry. And again, hug in the middle of the road, there is the Porsche. Flat 6 versus V10 this time. Gazalbon goes to the outside and thinks he's going to have to do a late braking maneuver there, and does manage to get that one done. Worked much better. Problems though for the sister Schumacher GP car of Pierre Macchi. A spin down at turn 12 by the looks of it. And potentially still trying to get that car recovered as well, because the yellow flags are still waving down there. Oh, as I say that, they are rescinded. So that's probably cost him a place there, anyway, and Patrick Michelier. We'll get confirmation of that when I go over the next timing loop. It was about 25 seconds ahead, actually, so he might have just about gotten away with it. No, Eric Mouet into 4th now, Patrick Michelier into 5th. Pierre Macchi, we're still waiting on him to come across the timing line. In fact, Jose Cartel has gone through as well, so whatever that spin was, it's definitely hampered him much more significantly than initially anticipated, because he's now plumb last. Here are the leaders back over the timing line. Lucas Tellman's learnt very early on, flash your lights, like a typical touring car driver, to try and distract your rival ahead. Albon managing to pull a couple of tenths of a second on that previous lap. Look at that, all the way down the straight. Flash, 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 flash from the Porsche. Pierre Match has actually brought his Lamborghini into pit lane, so hopefully the spin was not a result of some sort of mechanical or electrical issue aboard that car that now needs to be looked at and studied further in pit lane or in the garage. Saw a glimpse of Olivier Morahan. Of course, he's now promoted to an overall podium. Patrick Michelier trying to get back on terms with Eric Mouet. Not too many cars, I would consider, that could beat a Super Trofeo in a drag race, but the 296 Challenge is one of them. A look at second place in UCS4, Andrei Safiratov. Remember, he was tied on points with Pierre Aru going into this race at the head of the class championship. Of course, he'll pull a little bit further clear now. Veritas. Last year we saw racing in the UCS Light category because that previous generation 981 car did qualify for that category. Despite Albon taking the lead and pumping in some good sector times while he's had some free air in front of him, Lucas Tellman is not exactly letting him get away at the front of the field. 6 minutes to go, and it's been a real tit-for-tat fight at the front of the field, with both of these drivers using the performance characteristics of their car to the extreme. Slightly wide moment there for race leader Wilfried Albon. Doesn't allow the Porsche to go through, but certainly allows him to get even hotter on his heels. Over the crest on the start-finish straight. Of course, we're going to have some lap traffic to have to think about in a minute as well. So Michelier, just going to show you how far behind they are. The leaders are making their way through turn one. Very different lines being used, with Albon still feeling the need to go a little bit defensive. puff of smoke out of the Ferrari 296 as it went over the curbing. I only assumed that was the tyre rubbing up against the bodywork. Interesting. Right, leaders in amongst the traffic now, and this could present opportunities for Lucas Telman if Albon was to be so slightly wrong-footed. They've gone around Pierre Aru. That's the last place car at the moment. Next up the road, by about 9 seconds, is Andre Sefiritos. And another 6 seconds up the road, Jose Cartella. Just over 2 minutes left on the clock, so probably only a couple of laps remaining now, and gap between Albon and Telman continues to ebb and flow. Still manages to be super tight as again the Super Trofeo goes wide, allows the Porsche to draw up alongside. Can't do anything with it when they get into the penultimate corner. The tight right-hander that leads them onto this very fast downhill plunge and then onto the start and finish straight, but momentum could be with the Porsche as we will be starting the final lap of the race now. Minute 40 left on the clock, leaders doing 1:47, so one more tour of the Autodromo Internacional de Algarve, 4.653 kilometers to go, and Lucas Telman in the Seb Lejeune Racing Run Porsche Cup car. Oh, dives on the inside, very nearly contact, front to rear. But it is Wilfried Albon that leads down the start-finish straight, and using the traffic as well to help out a little bit there, because Telman wanted to go to the outside, but he couldn't because Jose Cartella was there. Oh, wide on the exit, very wide on the exit of the Toro Vip hairpin goes to Porsche. That's not going to do his Ligier rubber any good at all. It's an awful lot of dust out there. Look how much he closes up though in these two right-handers. Almost pushing the Lamborghini through turns 7 and 8. Back up the hill, you get a sense that Telman thinks he can win this race. Unsurprisingly, a track limits warning has gone out to Lucas Telman for turn 5. Lights up the rear Goodyears as he tries to get around Albon at turn 11. Pulls out to the outside again. The Super Trofeo's gone wide here the last couple of times. He does so again, but the Porsche can't do anything with it. And so it could well be a drag to the finish line, but you get the feeling that if Albon gets out of here with good momentum, he should be able to have the Porsche covered on the way up to the timing line. We are at 0, all over the curbing was Lucas Telman, desperately trying to find a way through, but the checkered flag is out, and it will meet Wilfried Albon. The Schumacher GP Lamborghini Super Trofeo wins race 1 of Trofeo GT Sprint in Portimão. Lucas Telman is second for Seb Lejeune Racing in the Porsche Cup car. Third over the line after quite a significant wait will be Olivier Morahan's Kennel Racing Team run Chevy Corvette. Eric Mouet should be fourth across the line ahead of Patrick Michelier. Already over the line has come Jose Cartella for the win in UCS4 ahead of Andre Sefiritos. It's a drive in 1-2 ahead of Harrow Racing's Pierre Aru. Here is Olivier Morahan coming up to take the checkered flag now and an overall podium. Morahan over the line in third position, eventually 50 seconds behind the top two. It just goes to show how much they were pushing each other out there. Yeah, the winner. So just 0.3 of a second in the end. Between Kazalmon and Talman, great stuff. Well, I've still got cars coming over the line. Look at that. Eric Mouet across the line in 4th position. 1:43 behind the leader. He was 4 seconds away from being lapped. Surely Patrick Michelier. It's not too far behind him. There he goes across the line. Really fell away from Eric Mouet towards the end of that race, but a cracking battle between two cars that you wouldn't normally see battling. But Wilfred Kazalbon has already made his way up to the #1 spot in Parc Fermé. And he is now joined by the Seb Lejeune car. Cracking battle, particularly for someone who's not used to this car at all. So I believe his first outing in Porsche Cup machinery, having come over from Fun Cup competition. Of course, you do learn an awful lot of racecraft in those golf-based machines. Golf-based machines, Beetle-based machines. What are you on about? It's been a long, hot day here in the Algarve. Thankfully, the sun is just starting to set below the horizon. A very high horizon that we have here. A lot of shade over the certainly the start and finish straight, which we were very grateful for on the grid earlier on. But congratulations and celebrations are had. Into the 3rd place spot comes Olivier Morahan. An overall podium for the Canol CEO. See Claire Cottingham trying to muscle her way into the conversation. The Grand Marseille post-race interview. I just won't wait for that. I'll remind you that we are back out again first thing tomorrow at 9 o'clock. But let's go down and speak to our race winner.
I would love to be able to speak to our race winner, but unfortunately he doesn't speak English. So I'm going to ask him in French how it's gone. So we're going to go French. I'll speak English, just say how the race was. We'll go that way. And say it in French. No, say it in French.
La course était sympa. Après, bon, c'était un peu compliqué parce que j'étais tout le long derrière mon coéquipier. Là. Donc le problème, c'est que la voiture, elle chauffait vraiment. Et les températures des pneus, c'était vraiment élevé. Et le problème, c'est que ça tenait plus en fin de manche. Donc j'ai fait mon possible pour le doubler déjà et puis après rester devant. Donc voilà, je suis très content.
I'll take my microphone back. Thank you so much. Well, congratulations. We are done for racing here today in Portimão. Of course, we're going to be back tomorrow bright and early, 9 a.m. Do make sure you join us. We are local time, of course, same to the UK. So if you're watching in the UK, it's the same in Portimão. We'll see you tomorrow morning.